So today, the offering for our practice will be to shift perception. There'll be opportunities to close your eyes, and I'll cue that. You may also explore what it's like to keep your eyes closed through the whole practice. Peeking is allowed. Whenever I do a practice with my eyes closed, we're turning the gaze inward, right? And even through the practice, look, I've been doing yoga for more than 15 years, and if my eyes are closed and I'm a little off balance or unsure of where my foot or hand has landed, I of course allow myself to peek. So give yourself that permission as well. We'll come onto our backs with eyes closed. We're going to keep the movements simple today so that we can really turn the gaze inward. Start by the simplicity of coming to the breath. Noticing the parts of the body that might be holding some residual stuff from earlier in the day or anticipation for what is to come. Is there a softening that can happen throughout the body and mind right here as we highlight the breathing? Filling and emptying, slowing it all down, smoothing it out. What can you notice about the breath right here? The temperature of the air as it passes through the nostrils. The sensation of the lift of the belly and chest. What draws your attention? If feet and legs are extended, begin to bend the knees, feet on the floor as wide as the mat, knees knocked towards one another. And then gently, little swaying of the knees from side to side. Letting it build. It might not go all the way from one side of the floor to the opposite side. It can take its time to open. The arms could reach out, palms facing up beside you. And once the knees come towards the right, let them pause there. Let everything soften. The cheeks, the throat, the jaw, everything softens. Breathe into the left side waist. And the knees come back through center and surrender over towards the left. Breathe into the right side waist. Feel the shoulders open, rolling and softening.
come back through center. Hug them in towards the torso as you press the tailbone to the earth. Feel the spine long. Breathe into the back body. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out the mouth. A little bit of sound. And again, we might keep the eyes closed the whole practice. Certainly here while we're on the floor. No chance of falling over. The eyes can stay closed. Keep the right knee in, plant the left foot on the floor. Interlace hands behind the hamstring and draw the right heel towards the sky. Point, roll the ankles, flex the foot. And then reaching up through the heel, feel the outer right hip roll forward. Begin to draw circles with the heel, rotating the hip in the socket. They can get bigger as they go in rotation, and then take it in the opposite direction. Pause down center, reaching up through the heel. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knee in. Inhale, reach up through the heel. Keep moving. Exhale, the knee bends. Inhale, the leg extends. Once more. Pause with the leg lifted. Release the hands from behind the hamstring. Belly pulls to spine, low back presses to the earth. You can interlace the hands behind the head. Keep the low belly pulling in and up as you lift head and shoulders off the earth. All four sides of the neck are long. And you're reaching up through the right heel. The outer hips are hugging. And we're engaging the core. The left foot might float off the mat. Just for a little added extra challenge. Slowly lower the right leg towards the earth and lift it back up. Lower and lift. And a final lower and lift. Hug the right knee in, let the head come to the earth, left foot lands if it hasn't. And then switch sides, left knee hugs in. Right foot on the floor. You could roll the left ankle a bit here and then interlace hands behind the hamstring and draw the heel towards the sky. We're pointing the toes, we're flexing the foot, we're rolling the ankle as we roll the outer left hip forward and hug it in. Press up through the heel. And then let's begin to draw some circles with the heel towards the sky. And the circles may get bigger and bigger. You take your time. And then move in the opposite direction. Pause down center as you lift through the heel. Roll the outer hip forward. Inhale. Exhale, knee bends in. Hug it close. Inhale, reach up through the heel. Feel the resistance of the hand and hamstrings. Exhale, bend in. Inhale, reach from the heel up towards the sky. Exhale, bend in. One final reach with the heel towards the sky. Notice your outer hips, your hip points, that they are nice and even from the front of the mat. And you can recognize that just by your body awareness, keeping the eyes closed. Release the hands from the hamstring. Interlace the hands behind the head. Feel the low belly pull up and in, press the low back onto the earth. The left heel continues to reach up as you lift head and heart off the mat, shoulder blades off the mat. All four sides of the neck are nice and long, so there might be a tendency to drop chin towards chest and resist that. And for a little added extra, you might float the right foot off the mat. Breathe in here. What can you notice about the sensation in the body here, about the breath here, about the difficulty as the pose builds? Inhale, lower the left leg towards the earth. Exhale, lift it up. If the low back curves off the mat, don't lower the leg quite so far. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. And lower. Keep the low back pressing and lift. Hug the left knee in, drop the head down, lower the right foot to the floor. Hug both knees in. And let's circle the knees out. Massage the low back on the earth. Hands behind the hamstrings. So as we make this transition, notice the perhaps desire to open the eyes, but challenge yourself to keep them closed as you rock forward and back along the length of the spine until you come up into a seat, crossing the right shin in front of the left. Can you recognize which shin is in front without having to open the eyes? We're building our relationship to our body. We're strengthening it. We're our awareness of our physical body without needing to use our eyes. Float the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, twist towards the right. The left hand lands on the right knee. The right hand is behind the right hip, about 6 inches to a foot. The left hip, pull it back and down so it's nice and even with the right. Feel the length of the spine grow. Exhale, unwind. Float the arms up, inhale. Fold over the shins, any amount. Exhale, hands land on the earth. Head can hang here. Breathe into the hips. Feel the hips press back as the side body grows long. Begin to crawl yourself back up towards seated. Extend the legs in front of you long. Give them a little shake. And then bend the right knee, bend the left knee, left shin in front. Feel the sit bones root. Feel the crown of the head reach tall towards the sky. Float the arms. Inhale. Exhale, twist towards the left. Right hand lands on left knee. Left hand behind like that kickstand. And then feel the frontal hip points square to the front of the mat. So the right hip is not rolling forward towards the left. They're nice and even. As the chest twists towards the left, the shoulders surrender down the back. Inhale. And exhale, unwind. Float the arms as you inhale. Press down into the sit bones as you fold forward over the shins. Let the head hang. Can you breathe more space to the back body? Crawl the hands back towards the shins. Extend the legs out, give them a shake. Bend the knees, take the legs behind you, hands and knees, tabletop. Can you set yourself up in tabletop with hands under shoulders without having to look? And then you can peek if you like, of course. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Sway the hips from side to side, like you're wagging your tail. Pause down center. Give a slight bend to the elbows and then scoop them towards one another as you roll the chest open. Tip the tailbone towards the sky. Press the chest through the gates of the arms. Root down into the fingertips. Cow pose. Breathing here. The shoulder blades are moving away from the neck, or away from the ears, and the neck is nice and long. On the next exhale, as you root into the hands, hollow out the belly, tuck the tailbone to point towards the backs of the knees, and the chin moves towards the chest. The shoulder blades are pulling away from one another here in cat pose. Moving between those two poses, the inhale brings you forward cow. The exhale rounds the back cat. Keep going with your breath pattern, moving through cow and cat, flexing and extending the spine, protracting and retracting the shoulder blades. Begin to take it in some circular movements. With the eyes closed, you're able to let go, perhaps, of, does this look right? And maybe tap more into, how does this feel? Can I feel into the different areas of my body that can get a little bit more movement, more space? Tabletop, in one breath, in and out. Step the right foot back, press through the heel. Press into the left shin, hollow out the belly, square the hips. Begin to float the right leg to the height of the hip. Press back through the heel. Strong leg engaged. Maybe you come up onto left fingertips. Maybe you begin to test the balance with the eyes closed, reaching the left hand forward. The core here is supporting so much of this pose. The right elbow is still scooping towards that midline. Inhale. Exhale, lower hand, lower knee. Wag the hips. Cow, inhale. Cat, exhale. Tabletop. Left foot steps back. Press through the heel. Feel that left hip, roll it towards the earth. The inner left thigh rolls towards the sky. The tailbone points towards the left heel as you press into the right shin. Engage the belly and float the left leg to the height of the hip. Maybe tenting up onto the right fingertips. Pay attention to that left arm, soft bend in the elbow, scoop it towards the midline, supporting with our triceps. Maybe the right hand can begin to float forward. Then there's external rotation in the right arm, so the palm is facing the midline, as if you were going to shake someone's hand, thumb towards the sky, shoulder away from the ear. Breathe in. And gently, hand and knee come to the earth. Cow pose. Cat pose. Tabletop. Walk Walk the hands forward 2 or 3 inches. Tuck the toes, lift the knees an inch off the earth. Keep rooting into all 10 fingertips as you scoop the elbows towards the midline. And then press the hips back like a giant leapfrog and then straighten into the legs. Downward facing dog. Elbows scooping. Hips lifting. Bend the right knee, press the left heel towards the earth. Bend the left knee, press the right heel towards the earth. Come high onto both toes. Press evenly into both hands, swivel the heels towards the right. Lift the right side waist towards the right hip. Come back through center, high onto both toes. Keep the soft bend in the elbows. Heels fall to the left. Lift the left side waist towards the hip. Come back through center. Float forward, plank pose. Feel if the distance that you had in dog from hands to feet is correct. Hands line up right under our shoulders. Press the heels back, inner thighs roll up, belly pulling up and in. Hips up and back. Inhale, plank. Peek forward, or don't peek. Press the crown of the head forward, come up onto the tippy toes, maybe drop the knees, lower all the way towards the earth, through chaturanga. Uncurl the toes, tops of the feet, press hands line up with the chest, belly to spine, pelvis to earth, roll the heart forward, cobra. Keep the neck long. Breathing here. Tops of the feet engaged to the earth, pelvis presses. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Walk the arms out, or the hands out, pardon me, onto the floor beside the mat. Press tops of the feet, tent up onto fingertips. Roll forward, undulating the spine. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. So it's just like cobra, just a little wider with the hands tented on fingers. Inhale, lift. Tops of the feet pressing. Exhale, lower. One more lift. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Walk the hands beside the chest. Press up and back to child's pose. Big toes touch. Forehead to the earth. Breathe there. Long breath in, long breath out. Fingertips crawl forward. Begin to make your way back to downward facing dog. The right leg lifts, pressing through the heel. Bend the knee, open the hip. How does this feel in the body? Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose, round the spine. Inhale, leg up and back, three-legged dog, hips square. Exhale, right knee towards right tricep. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, right knee towards left tricep, little twist. Inhale, up and back. Lower the foot to the earth. And walk the hands towards the feet. Forward fold at the back of the mat with soft knees. Head is heavy. You could grab a hold of either elbow. Maybe a gentle sway. Release the arms, belly pulls up and in. Lift halfway, hands to shins. Exhale, fold in, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway left, flat back. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Bend the knees, roll up one vertebrae at a time. A little ragdoll action, shimmy your shoulders. And your head is the last thing to arrive. Standing in
in Tadasana. Maybe you don't have to look at all. Can you situate your feet so they line up underneath your hip bones? So the outer edges of the feet are parallel with one another. Give a soft bend in the knees and internally rotate the thighs to spin towards one another, towards the wall behind you. Feeling the outer hips engage, the low belly pulling up and in, tailbone towards the earth, front ribs hug to the back body, heart lifts. Tadasana. Utthita Hasta Tadasana. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, dive forward over your strong legs.
Inhale, lift halfway, flat back, belly pulling up and in. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, walk the hands to downward facing dog. Float forward, plank, inhale. Lower through Chaturanga for a back bend, cobra or up dog. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. The left leg lifts up and back, bend the knee, open the hip. Feel the right hip lift here. Feel some evenness in both hands, rooting towards the earth. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, the leg goes up and back, square hips. Exhale, knee to left tricep. Inhale, up and back. Core is engaged here. Exhale, knee to right tricep. Inhale, float it up and back. Exhale, lower the foot to the earth. Inhale, high onto the toes. Bend the knees. Step feet to hands. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, fold in. Plant into the feet, sweep the arms up and overhead. Draw the hands to heart center. Samastitihi, even standing. Release the arms, sweep them out and up. Exhale, dive forward over your legs. Heart lifts, inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, plank. Vinyasa if you choose it, or straight into downward facing dog. We all meet in down dog, lifting the right leg. Step the foot to the hands. Lower the back knee, keep the toes tucked. You might just situate, just take a moment to notice. Is my right foot a little too towards the center? Should I walk it out a little bit for a wider base, more stability? We know that our balance isn't quite as great with our eyes closed, so maybe take it out to the right a bit more. Press into the front heel. Imagine the left knee and the right heel could move towards one another, and then upright the torso. Sweep the arms up. Bend the left elbow. So the left hand goes towards the neck. Take the right hand on top of the left elbow. Think of lifting up through the left side waist, rooting down into the right heel, hugging the hip. Tip over gently towards the right. Maybe the chest lifts a little bit more, tiny back bend. Inhale through center. Float the arms up. Exhale, hands to hips. And so here we are at probably the most balanced pose that we're coming towards today so far. You might split the eyes open for this, but you might try without that first. But we're really going to take our time so you can connect. Outer hips hugging, front heel rooting, belly pulling up and in, pop the back knee up, crescent warrior. Strong back leg, frontal hip points lift. Find your balance. Maybe the eyes come open to do that. Maybe they can stay closed. You wiggle, you wave. Maybe the arms could float up. You know, with the Awareness turned inward, paying more attention to which muscles need to engage more to support this pose. Outer hips hugging, inner thighs moving towards one another. One more inhale. On the exhale, left hand down to the inside of the right foot, right arm up towards the sky. Left leg so engaged, so you feel the quadricep hug to the bone. And the outer hips hugging. One more inhale. Exhale. Right hand down. Bend the left knee and straighten into the right leg. You could have hands on blocks here. And then rebend the right knee. Straighten into the left leg. Low lunge. And then straighten the left leg, bend the right knee, or straighten the right leg, bend the left knee. And then you're just rocking forward and back, switching which knee is bent each time. And then pause with the right knee bent. Hands are planted. Left foot steps forward to the top of the mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold in. Plant into the feet, sweep the arms up and overhead. Come to standing with hands at heart center. Inhale, float the arms up. Lead with the heart, exhale, fold in. Flat back, inhale. Plant the hands, step back through plank. Vinyasa if you choose it, to down dog. Lift the left leg, inhale. Step the foot through to the hands. Lower the back knee down, keep the right toes tucked. Maybe the left foot walks more towards the left. As you root into the left heel, imagine the right knee could scrub towards it. Belly to spine. Begin to lift the torso. Hands can come to hip points. Maybe the arms float up. The belly is pulling up and in. The front knee is towards 90 degrees. The left heel feels like it could scrub back. Bend the right elbow, hand to the base of the neck, left hand onto right elbow. Think up with the side waist. And exhale over to the left. Outer hips are hugging, belly is pulling up and in. Breathe into the side, waist the ribs, up into the armpit of the right side. Inhale through center, reach the arms. Exhale, hands to hips. All right, here we go again. Belly to spine, maybe the first side has informed the second side. Outer hips hugging. Thighs coming towards the midline. Press into the front heel, pop the back knee up. Maybe it's wobbly, you might move that left foot more to the left. You might split the eyes for some balance. Maybe here in Crescent Warrior, strong back leg, perhaps the arms could lift as you breathe. Feel the outer hips hug, feel the thighs scissor towards one another. One more breath in. As you exhale, the right hand comes down inside the left foot. The left arm reaches up for a twist. Keep the back leg strong. Stay on the ball of the foot. The quadricep engages on that right leg. You hug the left hip in. Feel the chest wide and one more inhale. Exhale, left hand down into this low lunge. Begin to straighten the left knee, bend into the right knee deeply. And then bend the left knee, straighten the right leg. You can have hands on blocks again, straighten the left leg, bend the right knee. And keep moving forward and back, flossing into the hamstrings and the hips. left knee bent. Hands towards the earth. Step the right foot forward. Lift halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold in. Sink the hips, Utkatasana, chair pose. Heels press to the earth, pull away from one another. Belly pulls up and in, tailbone towards the earth. Try and lift the heart. Sink the hips. Press into the feet, come up to standing. Hands to heart. Pause. Check in. Notice how it feels. Notice where the mind is. What is the difficulty of this practice? How can you shine some light on that? Find the beauty of it. Release the hands. Float the arms. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, heart lifting, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot back, step the right foot back. Through a vinyasa or straight into downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift the right leg. Step the foot to the hands. Stay on the back toes. Press into the front heel. Hug the hips. Inhale, crescent warrior. Split the arms. Swivel the back heel. Warrior two. You know this pose well. Check your alignment points with your mind. Front heel presses to the earth. Front knee directs right over the second and third toe. The outer right hip hugs in and under, pulling back into the hip socket with the femur. The back leg, the toes are on a slight angle. In between 9 and 10 o'clock on the clock face. The inner thigh spirals back as the inner arch lifts up. The arms are extended, active. And the chest is trying to square to the left side of the mat. And you're with your breath. And you're with your body. And you ask yourself in this stillness of this pose, how can I support myself today, right here, right now? Flip the front palm, inhale, reverse, one breath. Exhale, hands come to the earth. Step back, vinyasa or straight to dog. You're choosing your practice. Left leg lifts, inhale. Step the foot to the hands. Stay high on the back toes. Have a wide enough base as you engage the belly. Press into the feet to lift up. Crescent warrior. Maybe the balance is easier now that we've informed the body. Strong legs, strong core. Inhale. Exhale, split the arms. Swivel the back heel. Maybe walk the left foot to the right slightly. Root down into both feet. Start with the back leg awareness. Toes pointing towards between 3 and 2 o'clock. The knee follows the toes. The inner thigh spirals back. The hip follows the knee, follows the toes. The front knee bends towards 90. As the frontal hip points lift. The arms are engaged as the side waist grows long. And you're breathing, yes. And you're reflecting, yes. And you're holding space for yourself to deepen that awareness of body, of mind, to strengthen that relationship, the most important one you have, the one with yourself. Thank you, body. Thank you, mind. Thank you, conscious awareness. I'm working on you. Flip the front palm. Inhale, reverse. One breath in. Exhale, cartwheel the hands to the mat. Pause. Walk the hands 90 degrees to the right. Toes point towards the right side of the mat. Soft bend in the knees. Hands can be on a block or the earth. As you fold in, inner thighs are spiraling back. Crown of the head surrenders. You can wag it side to side and nod it back and forth. You could draw some circles, clockwise, counterclockwise. You could breathe more space into your legs. You could breathe more space into your heart, lifting the inner arches of the feet, hugging the outer ankles. Hands to the earth or a block. Inhale, lift halfway. Keep the right hand where it is. Maybe up onto fingertips if you don't have a block. Take the back of the left hand onto the small of the back. You could fit a teacup there and it wouldn't spill over. Keep that. So the right hip keeps lifting as you turn the chest towards the left. Lift the left shoulder. Keep hugging the left hip in. Maybe the left arm extends out from the shoulder. One more inhale. Exhale, left hand replaces the right hand. Right hand replaces the left on the small of the back. Outer hips hug, inner thighs spiral. Begin to twist the chest towards the right. Roll the right shoulder open. Keep hugging the right hip in, lifting the left hip up. Maybe the right arm extends directly from the shoulder. Release the right hand. Hands to hips, inhale. Exhale, lift the torso, knock the heels in, toes out. Begin to bend the knees. Hands can come to the inner thighs. Knees are bending towards, woo-hoo-hoo, 90. It's a balance pose. Toes are out 45 degrees, both feet. Hips sink. Backs of the hands might rest on the thighs. As you root into the feet, feel the energy rebound up through the crown of the head, pulling all the way from the pelvic floor through the center of the body. Sink an inch lower, just for 2 breaths. Press into the feet, straighten the legs. Point the toes towards the side of the mat so the edges of the feet are parallel. Hands to hips. Step or hop feet together. And take a short walk to the top of your mat. Here's our cool down. Inhale, float the arms. Exhale, fold in. Lift halfway. Plant the hands. Step the left foot back. Lower the left knee to the earth. Walk the hands to the inside of the right foot. You can uncurl the left toes. You can walk the right foot more to the right. Hands can be on a block. Head can hang. You might gently sway from side to side. You might explore that, or you might find stillness. You might engage the belly and press into the top of the foot. See how that contains the pose. This might be plenty. You might be up on blocks. Maybe you take it to a twist with right hand on knee. And maybe you can kick the left heel towards the tush, giving the quadricep a stretch. And maybe the right hand could grab a hold of the ankle, the outer edge of the left foot. We practice ahimsa, non-harm, that includes in our own bodies. So if something is ever too much, you back off. It's not about what the pose looks like, it's really not. It's about what it brings up and how can I be with whatever it brings up. If you have the foot, release it. Hands to the earth. We're moving towards single pigeon. If you prefer, come onto your backs for reclined pigeon. You're welcome to that. Single pigeon, the right foot walks towards the left. The knee comes to the earth. So the shin is on the earth with the right foot towards the left side and the right knee towards the right side. In fact, the right knee is wider than the right hip out to the side. The left toes are uncurled, the top of the foot presses. We lift the heart before we fold in. You might have a block or a bolster underneath the right sit bone. That might be useful. You could come to forearms and let the head hang. You might stack blocks or fists under the forehead. Slowly lift yourself out of this side. We'll all move back through downward facing dog for a beat. And lift the left leg, inhale. And step the foot to the outside of the left hand, lower the back knee down. And breathe. You might sway again from side to side. You might be on blocks. You might find stillness and press into the top of the right foot just with some energy. And maybe taking it into that twist with left hand on left knee. The chest rolls towards the left. The shoulders roll away from the ears. And then maybe the right knee bends. And perhaps you catch hold of the foot. You could use a strap here. You can play with pulling the foot closer to the tush or pressing it away from you. One more breath in. Noticing, acknowledging where you are. Release the foot. Exhale. Hands to the earth. Single pigeon walks the left foot to the right, the left knee to the earth. The left knee is wider than the left hip. If you're on your back, left ankle over right knee. And we fold in, finding your way into your expression of this pose today. Things change from day to day. Notice if having the eyes closed has been challenging. Is it more challenging as the practice slows down? Is staying with the awareness of body and mind more difficult when there's maybe less to pay attention to? But it really might be kicking up more to pay attention to. Another breath here. And slowly lifting. Find your way onto your butts. with legs extended in front of you. Flush out from underneath the sit bones. Float the arms, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Hands land on shins, ankles, or feet. And then lifting slowly. With control, maybe reaching the arms forward to counterbalance, lower onto your backs. Hug the knees in. Give a squeeze. And we'll finish with a nice symmetric happy baby. Arms can be inside of the thighs if you hold onto the shins or the edges of the feet. Arms will be on the outer edges of the thighs if you hold onto the hamstrings. Release the feet, hug the knees in. One final squeeze as we move into our final pose of Shavasana. Any comfortable position with the body. If you prefer seated, you're welcome to it. And as you wiggle your way into it, take a deep breath. Sigh it out. Let the body land. Let whatever shape it is in be the perfect shape. Nothing needs to be fixed or adjusted anymore. The eyes are heavy in the sockets. The body is heavy on the earth. Maybe the conscious awareness has begun to dissipate, but invite it back. Using your senses, Your ability to feel the earth below you. Your ability to just simply feel your body existing. Breathing. The sounds that you hear in your environment. Deepen the breath. Bring gentle movements to fingers, toes. The head could rock from side to side. Maybe the arms stretch up above head as you point to the toes or flex the feet. Perhaps hugging the knees towards the chest. And then you roll to one side, whichever side feels intuitively like the right way to go. And use your arms to press yourself into a seat. With the eyes closed, just a bit longer. Reflecting, acknowledging your practice, your ability to show up for yourself today, to strengthen this relationship. Hands to heart center, heart lifts, head bows. You thank yourself. You thank this existence. Shanti. Peace. You open your eyes and you notice the world around you. Reintegrate. Have a beautiful day.